Welcome to Choosing Love Again, a podcast born from heartbreak and hope. Statistics show that 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce, and sadly, I, Angela Lewis, am part of that statistic. I believe if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So instead of letting my story end in disappointment, I chose to let it begin with purpose. Here, we sit down with married couples who are doing the work, not just surviving, but thriving. We uncover their wisdom and the secret sauce that keeps their love strong. So lean in, open your heart, and let's choose love again. Welcome to the Choosing Love Again podcast. I'm your host, Angela Lewis. My guest today is the dynamic couple, been married. I'm going to let them tell you how many years. You're going to be like in awe. But this is a very good friend and co-worker of mine at Keller Williams, Miss Cynthia Bosier, and her wonderful husband, Michael Bossier. So welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you. Welcome.
So I wanted to just start off by sharing with our guests, how long have you two been married?
May it'll be 47 years.
Wow. Let me just tell you, 47 years, we're going to really get ready to glean what their secret sauce is. I've seen this couple in action, and it is Black excellence in love. So I wanted to ask, 47 years, how many children and how many grands?
4 children and 5 grandchildren.
Oh, wow. Now, I don't have any grandkids, so I live sort of vicariously through you. So we're going to definitely tell 1 or 2 grandkids stories because I get the biggest kick out of Miss Cynthia's grandkids. So I remember you were playing Boots on the Ground or something, right?
Yes.
Now, please share with the audience. Was it Harper?
It was Lady Harper,
Yeah.
our 7-year-old granddaughter. Mm-hmm. And I said, Harper, do you know the song Boots on the Ground? She said, Nana, I have it on my playlist.
Playlist now. And how old is she again? 7? She has her own playlist. Okay. Now, and there's one more that you told me, and I gotta get this one. Who was it that needed her the Sephora card or something?
That was Harper again.
Okay.
Harper again.
Okay. And what did she say now?
She told our son and our daughter-in-law, I need y'all credit card. I need to go shopping at Sephora.
OMG. Is that not too cute? Like, I don't even know what a Sephora was at that age. That is just amazing. So, Michael, I understand that you guys were on grandparents' duty, like, what, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
Oh, yes. I was out in California with my youngest daughter. Uh-huh. And we kind of babysit while she took a little birthday trip, and her husband had the awful task of covering the Super Bowl.
Well, that is awesome. Yes. And so let me ask you this. How has you all's relationship changed from, being just parents now that you stepped into the grandparents role?
Okay, with me, it's really gotten better.
Okay.
All right, we do things together with our grandkids. And when my kids were growing up, I was gone a lot.
Okay.
All right. And it's almost like making up for lost time for me.
Ah.
But I really enjoy my time with my grandkids.
Oh.
Because I was raised by my grandparents.
Oh.
And it's like giving back.
I gotcha.
I'm reaching into the future.
Oh, absolutely. That is so great. Now, you mentioned you were gone a lot. So do you mind sharing with us, tell us, our audience, what's your career? Because I understood you've had 2 careers. So
Yes.
Tell us what you have done to get you to this point.
First off, I was in the military for 27 years. Mm-hmm. I saw my 18th birthday at Paris Island. So I joined when I was 17.
Oh, my.
And once I retired from the military, I started working with Delta Airlines, and I worked with Delta Airlines for 22 years.
Oh, wow.
So I'm retired from them now.
Oh, my God.
My time in the military was great. It was not easy. Mm-hmm. All right, a lot of moving around, a lot of deployments, a lot of things I can't even talk about. But,
Sure.
But it was great.
Okay.
And working at Delta's a great place to work at, but sometimes it can be really taxing.
Okay, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I am sure. Wow. So Cynthia, being the wife of someone married to the military, because, well, first of all, I'm gonna come back to that question because I want to know, how did you guys meet? Take us back to the beginning.
Okay. We, I went to high school with a couple of friends she was going to college with. And they invited me to come by in the evening. I said, okay. So we was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
She was going to Columbia College. And so when her friends came and her friends introduced me to her, she came out of the room. She had on a pair of black pants.
Help me, Jesus.
And that's when I said, okay, this is good. And so I talked to her friends, and they said, okay. So they tried to get us to start talking. And we took her out a few times, and of course I was still young. And finally, we clicked.
Okay.
And it was just there.
Okay.
All right.
That is amazing. Now, I'm going to let Cynthia tell your side of the story, but I did want to say, Michael, 27 years in the military, thank you so much for your service, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So you were you were in my neck of the woods. You all know I'm a graduate of the University of South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
So where were you in college, Cynthia?
I was in Columbia, South Carolina, like he said, and he knew my roommate.
Okay.
And so my cousin had brought me back to college, and I was in the kitchen cooking some Franks. You
Right.
know, you always be hospitable.
Oh, yes.
So I said, would you like something to eat? And I handed it to him, and I left the room. He didn't come to see me.
Right,
He came
okay.
to see my roommates, and I didn't know him.
Right,
So
right.
I left the room and went in my room. And so when I came out, my friends was like, he likes you. I said, just stop it. You're always trying to match somebody up.
Right,
Just stop
right,
it.
right.
And he kept coming by. And he kept coming by.
Okay.
And he kept coming by. And so finally one day I said, you come by here a lot. Why do you come by here so much? He said, because I like you. And I said, oh. I was oblivious.
Oh, my God.
I was so young.
Wow.
And so he asked me out on a date, and I said yes. And we talked all night. We just talked. And I, up until that point, had only dated boys. With Michael, he was a man already.
Oh, wow.
He was already a man.
Okay.
And we've been together ever since.
Oh, my gosh. That is amazing. I really like that. So how old were you?
When I met him, 18.
Okay. And how old were you, Michael?
22.
Oh, wow. So were you currently in the military at that time?
Then I was in the reserve. I had gotten out of the Marine Corps. I was 3 in the Marine Corps, right? And I went into reserves.
Okay.
And I was working for the state of South Carolina.
Okay.
And, excuse me. And so when went back on active duty later, because I realized I just wasn't happy. I figured I could do better in the military.
Sure. Okay.
And I talked to her. We sit down. We talked about it at the dining room table. And that's what we said, okay, let's do it.
Wow.
But it takes, when you're going to make a decision like that, you have to sit down and talk a little because it affects everything.
Wow. Now, that's important. Michael, I want you to look through that camera and say it again. Now, when you're making a really big decision, what do we have to do now?
We have to sit down and talk about it. Talk about it with your mate. Make sure that's what you want to do. Life is too short to be unhappy. And God didn't mean for no one to be unhappy. All right. So you have to sit down, understand one another, make sure that's that road you want to go down. And I was blessed to have the right partner that we went down the road together.
I love that. I love that. So once Michael went back in active duty, that meant you guys had to travel, relocate quite a few times.
Yes.
Now, Cynthia, you and I are sort of alike. We got these sort of A personalities, and you're a worker bee. Does that mean you had to sometimes rebuild your career?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how did you handle that part?
Well, as he stated, I wanted to be with him.
Okay.
So whatever it was going to take to make the marriage work. And so I had to stop college quite a few times.
Okay.
Because we were relocating. So either with our oldest two children, I stayed home.
Okay.
Because Michael was like, if I'm gone all the time and you're working, who's going to be with our children?
Gotcha.
And I was just blessed to have a man that wanted me home with the kids.
Wonderful.
So what I learned at a very young age, he's got to go serve his country. You know, there's nothing I could do about it. But instead of being idle and instead of doing things I have no business, I kept myself occupied. I got saved really young.
Okay.
At 23. So I was very active in church.
Gotcha.
And I was blessed that even though my family was far away in New York, they were always there. A phone call away.
Okay.
If the kids needed something, if I needed something, they were like my counseling. So I was determined this marriage was going to work. I didn't want any other man around my children.
Oh, wow.
Ever. Because no one would love them the way he did.
I love
so
that.
I just found going back to school when I could, depending where we moved, or finding a little part-time job.
Okay.
Something to do.
That's great. I love that. I really love that. So being married 47 years, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned?
Understanding.
Understanding.
How to make your mate happy. And keep her happy. All right. And like I say, always keep the lines of communication open.
Okay.
All right. You got to know how she's feeling or he's feeling. And let her know how you feeling.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Everything. So are there, let's just say if you have difficulties or situations arise in a relationship, do you handle them differently now versus how you did like when you've got in their 20s and 30s? Like what have you learned as you matured and gotten more older in the relationship?
Well, Michael's a really calm person, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's been basically the same. He's had about 3 or 4 wives. He had a wife in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So he's had to adjust more than I did because he's just been level-headed.
Okay.
So with me now, there's not temper tantrums.
Okay.
There's not shouting matches.
Gotcha.
There's not balls of crying.
Okay.
So now I go, honey, we need to talk.
Gotcha.
We're level-headed. We're calm.
Wonderful.
And we're in a room where the room is quiet and calm without stimulation. And we just talk about it. And ultimately, he's the head of the household. I don't have any problems with what the words say, wives submit to their husbands.
Okay.
Because he's the decision maker.
Okay.
And whatever we both decide, I'm fine with it. I always say, honey, you make the decision. I really do with major things. You take, because so long by us being away from each other, I had to make decisions.
Okay.
I had to go get the car repaired.
I got you.
I had to refinance the house.
Exactly.
I had to do this. So I'm like, here you go.
Got it.
You take care of it. So we handle things much differently.
I love that. I love it. Well, let me just tell you this. You know, one of the things that Steve Harvey has said is when a man loves a woman, the 3 things that he's definitely going to always do is, what did he say? Provide for her, protect, and profess his love for her, right? Now, Michael, you might not know this, but I witnessed with my own eyes you showing how much you protect Miss Cynthia. Do you remember when I want to give a shout out to a wonderful agent in our office, Lakeisha Knight, if you're watching. Hi, Keisha.
Hi, Keisha.
But she actually secured the property down at Spivey Manor. And it was a townhome community that she needed a couple agents to help her get those sold. And so she handpicked Cynthia and I along with another 2 set of people. But remember when we first started, I never forget the first day that Miss Cynthia was on the calendar by herself, and I was coming to relieve her. Maybe it was a Sunday, and I think on Sundays we maybe work 3-hour shifts, right? But when I pulled up, I saw you in the truck, right? And I didn't see Cynthia's car. And I said, well, I think your husband is out there. I saw Michael, maybe he's bringing you lunch or something. And she says, oh no, he came with me. That was so touching to me because that is showing that you really didn't know. You wanted to make sure the environment was right, but you were there, and then you stayed for some of my shift too. And so you automatically stole my heart that day. But I just wanted to say I witnessed Black excellence. You know, this man is definitely a protector. And then one time didn't we have a guy that came through, and you know, when you had to stand up or something, and then he went on, or did you talk to him at all?
Well, the only thing I said to him was, you know, this is where I told him where y'all were at, and that few inches he had to be able to go over there because he kept looking in the house.
Gotcha.
He was trying to get in to one of the things, and then when I caught him, he probably like he was trying to buy it. No, he wasn't trying to buy it.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Well, but I just want to say thank you for that. But that was very endearing to me because I said, "Is he okay?" Cynthia said, "Oh no, he's fine." You know, because when he wants to come in, he'll come in. But I'll never. That was very touching to me.
Thank you.
Something I've witnessed. So, what would you say, Cynthia, are some of Michael's greatest strengths? Because you mentioned already that basically throughout your marriage, he has this way of just being even keeled. Even keeled. What would you say another strength of his is?
Michael is a person that when he walks in a room, he says very little, but he commands attention. And what I mean by that, when our children were little, especially my oldest two sons, I used to spank them. They were boys, they were bad, and they needed a spanking.
Okay.
And he didn't think we should spank them.
Oh.
He was like his grandfather. His grandfather spoke to them, and his grandmother did all the discipline. And so I thought something was wrong with him because I had never heard of people not spanking their kids. Like, what is wrong with him? I said, we could talk to him after I finish spanking them, but I'm spanking them. And now that they're older, they share with me how when he walked in the house, he just commanded attention. I could have said all day, get in that room and clean that room like 20 times.
Exactly.
When he walked in, he didn't even yell.
Right.
He said, what did your mother say?
Right.
They scatter. So he has a presence that he just commands attention. It happens everywhere he goes. Michael loves fried chicken. We are both Southerners by our roots. And everywhere he goes, the favor of God just follows him.
Wow.
This is everywhere he goes. Even when we go in the airport, besides him being a veteran, which I love that, we just get bumped up. We get something extra. We get to go on first. And he doesn't say a lot. He just walks in. And he commands attention.
I love that. So what would you say that Miss Cynthia's greatest strengths are, Michael?
Oh, my wife is the strongest woman on the planet. Okay. He has take charge of those kids when I was gone. And when I come back and walk through the door, they're ready. They fall in line. They're like, they're ready to go.
Wow.
Mom don't play. And our greatest strength is understanding.
Okay.
She's willing to listen.
Okay.
All right. And make the right choice.
I love it.
All right. And she always backs me most of the time. But she also points out if I make a mistake, she'll point it out.
Okay.
All right. Which is good. Back to that thing about communication.
Right.
All right. And I love that about her.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, she'll say, hey, good. I said, okay, then I said, let's adjust. In the military, we say adjust.
Gotcha.
All right, so we change that, go another route.
I love that. Okay. Yes, I do.
Like
I love
most
that.
recently, we had a death in the family, and he was adamant that we were going.
Exactly.
We are going.
Right.
But he wasn't feeling well. And he hadn't been feeling well for weeks. So I had to pull out the big guns. I had to get the grandchildren on the phone. Because the children don't work anymore. And our oldest granddaughter said, Granddaddy, you've been coughing too much. You need to stay. And then he realized I haven't been feeling well. And he knew he wasn't feeling well, but his heart was, I want to be there.
Of course.
So in those kind of situations, the Holy Ghost leads you.
Right.
You need to step in and bring to his attention. And he knew the right thing, so I could take care of him at home.
Yeah, come to find out I had pneumonia.
Oh, Really?
And we were going on the road.
Exactly. So I really like that. But I like what you said too now, that you recognize now that your big guns and your strength right now is the grands.
Yes. Yes, especially the 3 little girls.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I love it. So now we do know in 47 years, all marriage goes through difficult times, you know. You don't have to share with us what yours was, but I want to know, whatever it was, how did you all pull through that, you know, get to the other side stronger and even more loving each other?
I'll go first with that.
Okay.
Our roughest time for me, I made a list
Oh.
of pros and cons. And the pros far outweighed the cons. How I loved him. And the Lord brought to my memory when he went to Korea. I was in my last year of nursing school with 3 children. And I missed him so much. So I made us a romantic night, made hotel reservations and dinner. And we were in Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
And it seems like when he was coming off the plane, for some reason, it took all these people coming off, and I couldn't find him. Like, where is he?
Okay.
And it was like I was so eager to see him.
Right.
And finally, he came off the plane, and he looked so good. And he was so fine. So the Lord brought that picture back to my mind of how I felt
Exactly.
when I saw him and all the wonderful things as a father, a husband, a son, a grandson, a friend, a protector, a provider. And that was it. And I said, I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, wow.
I ain't going nowhere.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Michael,
Well,
what do you think?
Most of the time, our problem is when we separate because I had a year in Korea, but I also had a lot of other operations I had to go to. Like, you have not had Thanksgiving turkey till you had it with Egyptian sand on it. It's a different taste.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I miss so much. But she was always there for him.
Okay.
Birthdays, soccer practices, that kind of thing. I missed a lot of that.
Wow.
But she was always there, being the greatest mother on the planet. All right, and I'm never, ever going to forget that.
Okay.
All right.
I think that is sweet. And then, now, when you are in the military, we didn't really have cell phones and FaceTime and all that back then,
no.
right? So did you guys stay engaged through letters? Were you a letter writer?
Yes.
Okay. Did Michael write you back? You write letters too, Michael?
No.
Okay. So you wrote the letters. So, and how did you hear from him then?
Back then, we were able to call.
Okay.
And then they started having a line for the military where they could call us and we wouldn't have to pay the exorbitant fees. So we used to tell, but then when he was in certain parts of the world, it would be night where he is and day where I am. So that was a struggle, getting the time right.
Sure.
And one year for Christmas, I asked him, I think he was in Korea, and I said, what you want for Christmas? He said, I want you. I said, well, you can't have me because I can't leave the kids and I can't come. So I went and took glamour shots. And so I sent him the glamour shots, and he put them up in his room. And his friend said, does your wife know that you got pictures of a woman on your walls? He said, that is my wife.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah. Now that was nice. Yeah, because men are visual and everything. So in a sense, you were being the wife and his girlfriend.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
I love it and everything. So it sounds like you both really were intentional about doing things to meet the other's needs.
Right. My job in the military was communications, and long haul communication. So whenever I could patch a line across, I try to call.
Okay.
Right.
That was wonderful.
And sometimes I had to call her from top of a mountain in some country you can't pronounce. But yeah.
But you would make that effort. Yeah. I love it. So I used to watch this series called Army Wives. Did you ever see that?
Maybe a few times.
But one of the things I thought was really neat, and I was just going to say that y'all have this. They had a connection, like the ladies on. Like, did you live on the base?
Mm-hmm.
So were you all each other's support system? Sometime did you find a good group of ladies to be your support? Mm-hmm.
Yes, when we lived in Germany, they became like my family. I mean, we
Wonderful.
were actually closer than some families. And a couple of my girlfriends, I actually have one that lives here in Atlanta that we're still friends since 1983.
Wow.
Our husbands were best friends.
Okay.
So we babysat for each other. We went to dinner with each other. We went to church with each other. And it's unlike anything you've ever seen to see military people, how we bond.
I gotcha.
It's wonderful.
Right. I think that's really good. I love that. I love that. So if you had to describe, I guess, the ultimate glue or secret sauce that have kept you guys together in 2 or 3 words, what would you say?
I would say it's nothing but the Lord.
So first, God. Okay. Okay.
God. 3 words?
Yes, so you can give honor to God, of course, absolutely.
God, honor of God, communication,
Okay.
and love.
I love that. Okay. Okay. We got it. So you all heard that? They put God first, and then communication, and then love.
Right.
I love that. So I'm gonna ask you this. This is every couple that comes on the program, since we're called Choosing to Love Again podcast. I like to ask this: at this stage in your marriage, how do you guys choose love again within your marriage?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I like to surprise him. And I get to surprise him every year. Every year he says, "Do not give me a birthday party." And every year I ignore him. Every year. Because we've missed so many birthdays, Thanksgivings, Christmas, kids events. So every year the Lord gives me another way to surprise him. Like one year, I told him I was having, like, you know how we women would have Tupperware parties back in the day. So I said, some girlfriends coming over, we're going to do a party. So you're going to hear some noise downstairs, because he was upstairs.
Okay.
And when he came out, I called him and said, "Michael, can you come out? Come downstairs?" I had called his brothers from Sumter, South Carolina, to come and be at his party. And he said to my girlfriend, Robbie, she got me again. Every year. So one year we went to Vegas. That's like his favorite place in the whole wide world is Vegas.
Okay.
So our youngest daughter lives in California. So her and her husband drove to spend the weekend with us.
Okay.
And they were newlyweds. They had just got married. And my daughter was in the bathroom a long time. I was like, I hope my baby not sick. Is she okay? So she handed him his birthday card. And he started screaming to the top of his lungs. That's not him.
Okay.
I said, what in the world could it be? She must be treating him to a steak dinner because he loves steak. It gotta be. And she had her best friend take a onesie and put on there that our granddaughter was coming in February. And she folded in the card. And now I'm crying, and I'm a drama queen, so I hit the floor and I'm screaming. So we're constantly, me and my daughter and my thinking of ways to surprise him, because he's low key, unlike me. So that keeps the marriage alive.
I love
date night, date lunch, date breakfast.
I love it.
Date. What would you say?
I always, with me, I just say, listen, baby, what do you want? What do you want for your birthday, right? And sometimes I'll say, well, I'll go try to sneak and get her something. Then if you don't like it, I'll take it back. But I pretty well understand what she wants and what she needs.
Sure.
And then I get out there and I make it happen.
Oh, I love it.
And what do you get me, Mr. Bosier?
Your trip to the spa.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. I remember you telling me about it. So that is so cool. Okay. So we're going to transition to another round. I'm going to call this the lightning round, where I'm just going to ask you guys some questions. And now you two lovebirds, you probably have to point, well, I guess with the opposite hands, but point to who is the person that this maybe applies to, okay?
Okay.
Well, who usually plans date night?
Usually that's me.
Okay. Who's better with finances? Okay. Who actually was the first to say I love you? Okay. Who usually holds on to conflicts a little bit longer?
That's a good one.
Because we just talk about
Yeah.
it and
And
move
let it go.
on.
Yeah.
Oh my!
That's too much work.
Did you hear that? That's too much work.
Yeah.
See, let it go. I love
Let
that.
it go, people. Let it go.
And so, who's more likely to say yes to like a personal loan to kids? To kids. Okay, so they come to Papa when they want something.
Oh, yeah. One of my grandkids asked for a heart. I'm going to get it.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah.
So, who's the most romantic?
Me.
Okay,
Romantic.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now we're going to move to my favorite segment here, and this is what we call the connection bowl. Okay, so what we have in here are going to be some prompts. We call that. These are not anything. It's just fun, just to make you maybe rethink of something, a special memory, reflect down memory lane. Okay, so it's going to be each one of you are going to pull it out, read it to us, and then do what the prompt asks. Who would like to go first? Okay. You have to read it to us. We got to know what it says.
Okay. While looking at my spouse today, what is one reason you would still choose them all over again?
All right. Let me make sure the audience understands what her prompt is. All right. Looking at your spouse today, what is the one reason you would still choose him all over again?
He's the best.
Oh,
I mean, he's just the best.
that's fine. I love
There's no
it.
reason to look no further.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Michael.
Over the year, you've shared together what is a moment. When do you feel especially proud of your spouse? Every day of the week.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Let me read this again to make sure the audience understood what it says. It says, over the years you shared together, what is a moment when you felt especially proud of your spouse? And now, how are you going to answer that again now?
Every day of the week, but especially, my wife was a nurse for over 20 years. All right. Now she's taken on another test and became a real estate agent, which she is excellent at. And she is doing so good at it. I'm proud of her.
Oh, that
But
is
then
sweet.
again, I'm proud of her all the time.
I love it.
Right.
I really love that. So, and I can tell you, of course, this is how I met this beautiful lady, because we're in the same office.
Yeah.
And do you know, she is, like, we just had an award ceremony, and she is truly our office. What did you get? What was your award? The hospitality or
A servant's award.
yeah, the servants award, because she has a way of, everybody looks for her when we come to the office. She's going to give you a hug. She's going to love on you. She's going to say something encouraging to you. So that's just in her nature. She's truly a sweetheart.
you.
So I just truly feel I'm blessed to know you. I really
you.
appreciate that. I am so delighted that you guys blessed us with your presence today. 47 years of marriage. Now I'm going to do a recap of what I've heard today. And number one on the recap is you can have different temperaments in marriage. And from the beginning, now Cynthia said, now she has gone to stage. Michael might have felt he probably was married to 3 different people, but he still, as the man in the relationship, managed to be even killed. And I didn't ask you this though. How did that make you feel, Cynthia? Was that really good that you know that you had a man that consistently, like, he wasn't up? I think we want our men to be consistent, right? Yes.
It was assuring. It was comforting. It didn't give me where I was wondering if he's going to explode or just go off. He left the military at the door every day. He never brought it through the door to me and my kids. And I'm so grateful to God.
Wow.
He always was the same.
That's really great. And I believe that another thing that Michael said was important to really just keep your marriage and sustain is understanding, and you said communication, and being intentional about getting to know what the other person needs and make that happen.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. And then the ultimate thing that I'm going to tell you where you blew my mind today is, because I've never had anybody answer the question the way you did, when I said, who holds on to difficulty? Did you see the way they looked at each other? They're like, what's difficulty? So they don't even have difficulty anymore. They are past that. So that is music to our ears, that if we just hang in there, if you're not there yet, you can get there, right? Absolutely. Whereas they just let it go. So, wow. Now I understand when I tell you some things about what I'm going through, Miss Cynthia will look at me and as though like, Angela, let it go. Okay. Just let it go. Wow. Well, I am so, again, thank you for coming and being with us today, sharing those wonderful gems and wonderful nuggets with our audience. That's priceless. And now, when you guys think of 40 years later and someone is having to say something about the love that Cynthia and Michael Bossier had for each other, what's something that you'd like probably to, them to say about the love that you shared?
That we were just a loving couple, loving parents, loving grandparents, loving great-grandparents. And when we came to their home, we always felt love.
Oh, I love that. Anything you want to add, Michael?
Only thing I could say is, if there was in the future or something like that, they really loved each other. Point blank.
I love it. I truly love it. So on that beautiful note of loving each other, we're going to actually conclude this segment of our podcast. So again, thank you so much for gracing our stage. I'll see you at the office soon, Miss Cynthia. And are you feeling 100%, almost 100%, Michael?
Close.
Okay. How's that knee, by the way?
Oh, boy. At one time in my life, I had a pretty decent body. But then again.
He's still good.
Yeah. Well, with everybody, keep living, right?
Right.
Keep living. Everybody gets a turn. Well, to my audience today, I wanted to say again, thank you so much for rocking with us today. I truly know that something here had to touch your heart. If you found value in what was said today, all we ask is to share this podcast with your family and with your friends. And remember, we actually go live on a new podcast on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of each month. So until next time, remember, it is not enough to find the right person. We must become the right person. Bye.